Hi guys, Dan with Index Option Trading on November the 18th. I'm sorry, and we start out with the chart of SPX. We can see the commodity SPX never had a chance to meet its 50-day moving average, just jumped from there, and it was extremely oversold on the stochastics and extremely oversold on the McClellan oscillator with a reading of minus 266. Now is giving a reading of 93 as of today after the market action. So there was a little small hook here, and now it has curved, and this thing is going up. So the path of least resistance, there's nothing here on the side, there's a little bit, but it's going up higher, and the market is technically bouncing here and all that. But you would see these headlines here that I want to share with you. The stocks jump as worries over Ireland ease and GM pops. Of course GM pops, and that gave a boost to the market and the confidence, because when the mergers and acquisitions, IPOs start happening, the economy starts improving. You haven't seen those IPOs or mergers or anything in the last 2 years. And the worries about these small places like Ireland, Greece, and some small unknown nations always take the market down when when the big players in the market have to justify a reason why the market is down. But that is silly, and the worries just almost get over next day when they have pushed the market up higher. So that is crap, which I believe this is a technical bounce here. The market has bounced from the oversold conditions, and that's exactly is the truth. And if it hasn't, I would be really surprised if it just stays there, and it didn't manage to do it. So let's take a look at on SPY, what this has done for SPY and how this has been doing. Let's see, we get the volumes about 197 million shares, which is pretty decent, extremely oversold, and the McClellan oscillator is down 93x gain on it, and SPY made this downward channel, didn't even hit the 50-day moving average, and has moved on now. It's now again up. Let's just put 21-day and 200-day moving average, and you can see it's above its 21-day moving average. The path of least resistance happens to be up, and there's a hook on the stochastic, so this will take this out almost here another 20-30 points. I don't know how many, about 10-20 points, I don't know. But this thing is a bullish market. The market is improving because the economy is improving, and that is what is driving these stocks. Let's take a look at some of the major stocks like Apple. And Apple is trying to finish its extremely oversold conditions, and it bounced 7.8, almost 8 points up, like 8.5, and it's trying to hit the 50-day moving average. Tomorrow I believe it's going to gap up, open, and go for a higher, extremely high volume here, 17 million shares. That's a lot. And then on Amazon, we had been tracking this one as well because we have position. It's below its 50-day moving average, bounced off in a 21-day, bounced off right from the 50-day. Which this is a technical point where most of the fund managers, most of the traders, people who have not had a chance to get in this rally here, are now piling up. So this is what they're doing. They're getting into the train. So the train has come to the station, and that's where they're embarking. They got a one-way ticket up. That's where they're doing. This is going to move higher. And if you look at Baidu, that stock has surprised me today to a great extent and frustrated me in ways that I've never seen. I've trusted this stock a lot more than that, and its performance was very bad, and it just is hanging there at 108. If it finished at 110, our puts would be, or the position would be, just breaking even. So this hasn't done that. I start closing some of it, and you can close this. Tomorrow is the option expiration. All these positions have to be closed. It has a decent volume, about 10 million shares, and it did pretty decent on its own. And we have to look at one more, Netflix, and see how that has been trucking along here. Netflix is sitting here. Let's take a look at Netflix. It's loading, is a bit slow, and now here we go. Netflix is also sitting here and trying to move higher from very oversold conditions. So the market is just basically moving up from these oversold conditions. This correction, or whatever you might want to call, was pretty healthy here, and we expected that thing to do so. If not, then the market would have topped here, and we would have some kind of a sell-off, and it didn't happen. It didn't even get to its 50-day moving average. That is amazing. That's how bullish this is. Unless it drops again tomorrow and hits 50-day moving average, you never know. But this thing, the path of least resistance, is up now.